Welcome, everybody. So it's Monday night, and we are here again. Thank you so much for being here. You can unmute yourself. You can mute yourself. If you have a background noise, I'll ask you to mute yourself. But it would be good to talk and interact, as what we are going to say, it's very, very important. All our meetings are always important, and tonight it's even more important. You also can type in your name, whatever you would like to be called, so we know how to call you and we know who you are. When you are entering, you can actually type in your name. Very good. The time has come, the time that I've been always warning you about. The time has come that I have been blocked by the biggest platform, really, for posting a video that is just the truth. And if it isn't, all you have to do is say, hey, this is not true, this is debunked. So I was banned for one day, for 24 hours. And when the 24 hours were up, I was notified that I posted again 6 times the same video, which I couldn't because I was banned, meaning blocked. So I cannot post or like or make any faces, sour faces or smiley faces on Facebook. So I've been telling you that this will happen because there's only 2 ways. You can only go the natural world path, or you can go the regular synthetic medicine path. Either one you choose is fine with me, as long as you choose and as long as you have the freedom to choose and you are not made to choose. There is a reason why I told you we want to transfer stuff from our groups, because things like that do happen. And frankly, I really don't know why, except if we are correct, we get banned. It's sad, but it's very, very true. For a very long time, I've been telling you that our industry have been ridiculed because it works, because it's a great industry, because it's an industry that it's really independent for the most part. So the time has come that only tells me what we've been teaching all these years, it's true and correct. If you are long enough with me, you know I always say that everything goes back to hormones, and it truly does. Everything that is happening in your body, or it's not happening in your body, hormones are to thank for. Did you know that even cholesterol is a hormone? I found something quite interesting, so I'm gonna look up on my phone as I save that, and I will be posting that when I will be unlocked. So cholesterol is a hormone that actually is related to vitamin D levels and insulin and triglycerides. This has to actually be all in harmony. What's the harmony? Well, that depends which world you are gonna ask. You're gonna ask the natural world, or you're gonna ask the not so natural world. No matter what we do and which road we go, we stick to it, right? Well, in my view, we have to apply common sense to everything we do. In the olden days, maybe we didn't supplement. Maybe we didn't care if we supplement our diet. Maybe we didn't think it's important enough to supplement our diet. Well, it turns out that if we don't supplement our diet, today modern world's food is not providing what our body needs. Actually, it doesn't provide at all. The biggest misconception is that you can go to the store, even health store, and pick a vitamin, a mineral, and your body is gonna be happy and it's gonna be thriving. So until we find out otherwise, how do you know you're not thriving? Well, how do you feel? Do you feel lonely? Right now, it's a weird time. We might feel lonely, but we are not. Whatever you feel, another human being feels. And you know, in Young Living, we have a great oil called Aroma Life. If you think about the word aroma life, this aroma brings life. Well, it really is heart oil. And this oil is not just for heart, it actually is for feelings. So many oils are really connected to our inner being. How? Well, it's a pure explanation of our limbic system. I don't know if you went to this training. It was Nature's Remedies, School of Nature's Remedies, and it has several parts. And one of them, the very first part, is called Optimize Your Mind, Master Your Emotions. Okay? And in a very simple diagram, you can see how oils travel, but not just oils. See, that's the thing. It's not just oils that travel. Everything travels the same way. It travels to the limbic system first when there is no barrier. There is no barrier, really, no blockage that is going to keep whatever you are smelling from entering. So you can either go the natural way and it's gonna work certain way, or you are gonna go not so natural way and it's gonna work another way. But no matter what you do, you are gonna actually have mental and emotional triggers by smelling, either something good or something not so good. See, when we smell something that is absolute nature, our body knows what to do with it because we are nature. We are organic. So far, we are all organic yet. Now, when we are introduced to modified world, our body might not be so organic anymore, yet it still will not know what to do with this modified particle, whatever comes our way. In this brochure, because as they are brochures like, they talk a lot about the failures of conventional treatments for stress, anxiety, and depression. But actually, if you've been following what's happening, there is a failure of conventional treatment for about anything out there. And today we have so much cancer, for example, and people are surprised, where is cancer coming from? Well, actually it builds for 20 years. So whatever it's happening, it's building for 20 years. Well, how about babies? Well, babies were not here 20 years ago, no, but their parents were, and their grandparents were. And whatever they've been doing, whatever they've been ingesting, digesting, or actually really not digesting, it gets passed on to the next generation. Now, therapeutics are being bombarded right now because it suggests healing. Well, your body heals when it has everything that it needs. Now, every time we go and get the hair color, we are reversing the process of healing. And I'm not telling you not to get the hair color. We just need to know what comes with it. Do you know that the hair coloring actually contains 5,000 different chemicals? I didn't know. I was really surprised. 5,000 chemicals. Now, every time you do your nails, I'm not telling you not to do them, but you need to know that nails, these bits, are actually your lungs. So when we do this, we need to know that we actually reverse what we've done, even if we are on a natural path. I'm gonna use this Aromalife oil. I am gonna do what I do daily, and I'm gonna just sniff it. And you're welcome to use the same oil, or you're welcome to use another oil that you have right next to you. Why? Because you will feel a shift. The shift will be different for different people. You might feel tingling, you might feel pulling, you might actually even sit straighter. Now, all your body needs is what nature gave us. I know we live in a really, really weird times that first, not only Young Living really paved the road to essential oils world, then came the companies that are trying to come up with their own oils. And when I say come up, it's exactly what it is. They are coming up with oils. Many of them are adulterated. Many of them are straight, synthetic. Our body does not know what to do with the synthetic, just like our body does not know what to do with the gluten that is 48 chromosomes versus the 14 as the original formula. Why am I telling you this? Well, you might know this already, but every time we use something that is not exactly straight from nature, no matter how many supplements you take, you are reversing your own process. So first, I was telling you about the oils and then companies that are trying to imitate that. But you know, they did not find the secret, because the secret is not in the smell of the oil. The secret is in the original seed and cultivation, and then distillation. Actually, the harvest is so important. Then the distillation, and then, yeah, and then you taking another oil or comparing oils, and you will know. So companies are coming up with this therapeutic, best, green, and whatever term they come up with just to lure the customer into their door. Well, notice that none of the companies actually say, well, our product, it's absorbed by the body in 85%. Nobody talks about that. So although the packaging might look wonderful, the marketing might look wonderful. It looks so convincing. It sounds so convincing. Well, they are just as good. Well, are they? Are they? See, there is a reason why in Young Living products we have the oils. All of them. All the products we have oils, because the absorption is in the oil. The oil, when it's true, not only natural, but original, from the original non-modified seed, when actually goes through the process as it should, not to disturb the original formulation, that goes straight to your cell. That the atomic weight is less than 500. None of the product on the market done that, but they will not tell you that in the marketing materials. And how many of you actually get swayed that way? You know, in my beginning, I got into that a lot of times. I always had hands that were very, well, not soft, let's say the least. They were just not soft. So I was a sucker for getting different lotions. I had a ton of them. They were all really no good. But what do you do with them? Once you find out how many poisons are in each, what do you do with them? You just discard them, and that goes into the soil that comes back to you, or the water supply that comes back to you. This is the biggest issue. But I myself got lurked into buying other lotions, although lavender worked wonders, even on my hair, even on my face at times, even on my legs and my hands that suddenly became soft and silky. I still got lurked into the store only to regret it, because nothing works. How can nothing work? Well, it just didn't. See, when you have an issue, you notice if something works or not. But sometimes when we get products and we just get on it, by the time we notice it doesn't work, it's almost too late. Sometimes the reversal is impossible. And I'm very serious. The reason I buy the supplements is because they work and because my body needs it. How do I know my body needs it? Because when I take it, even just one dose, I see and feel the difference. Now, when our body is really depleted, you might not feel the difference right away. Sometimes we don't feel the difference even after taking for a month. Why? Because we truly forget how we felt a month before until we stop. Sometimes I'm gonna tell the people I love, hey, take Ningxia for a month. You might be even adventurous and take master formula with it. Why? Because when you look at what's in it, I guarantee you, you are gonna be surprised, because nobody reads those little letters. It's like, I have to have a magnifying glass as well, right? Right? But if you really truly read what's in master formula, and all there, it's 4 pills that, when you take them with Ningxia, you are gonna feel like dynamite by the end of the month. And if you don't feel that, just stop it. Then you will feel the difference. How is your body supposed to go on if we don't have enough nutrients? And we don't. And the nutrients are being stolen by the toxic factory that we are living in. Our world, our earth is like toxic factory. And when I am traveling, I see that more and more. And especially in beautiful places by the water, guess what's there? Factories. Guess what they are fuming into the air? Toxins. Oh, we need that product. I bet. But what are we gonna do to our body that is actually smelling good? Day in and day out, and day in and day out, and at night as well. Well, we can help our body by giving the nutrients first, so the body can truly work. But you know what? Sometimes it might not be enough one packet. Sometimes it might not, especially when we have any issues, and we all know any issue, and I challenge you to give me an issue, and I will tell you that every issue goes right back into hormones, and the hormones are really sending little messengers, and they are going into, well, it's not just hormones, it really is, everything happens in the brain. Well, oh, really? Oh, how about the hypothalamus? And how about pituitary gland? Oh, that's a computer that actually sends signals to certain cells, even what to produce right now. So when we are getting something that is synthetic in our body, it doesn't even recognize it's synthetic. All it knows it's there. So might not send a signal that you need that particular hormone to be built, to be produced by your own body. But if everything is hormones, well, how about, I didn't bring thyroid in here, but how about cortisol? Cortisol, it's a wonder pill in my opinion.
Ja jestem.
Ja jestem,
Mamy
Atka, jestem.
kogoś tutaj.
We can hear you. Whoever you are. Welcome. Oh, a buzzer.
Ciao. Ktoś jest ten opisowy. O, to co najwyżej. 130. Dobra.
Angelica,
Okay.
you have to mute, honey.
So I muted. So it's a wonder pill in my house. Well, cortisol helps with halting the production of cortisol. And cortisol is normally known as a hormone of stress, but it does so much more. And remember, we can say too much or we are going to be silenced. So unfortunately, we all need to find out what this is good for. It feels like kindergarten, like we have to talk halfway and half sentences, but that's what it comes to. So we are going to look what also cortisol is good for, which it doesn't mean that cortisol is completely bad. But right now, there's so much anxiety that halting that for a little while would be really good. I tell you, sometimes I get asked, who do you give it to? And I say, to a person who needs it. Sometimes it's a big person, sometimes it's a small person, but sometimes whoever needs it, okay? But if we just use that, we cannot use it to the end of times because we do need the production of cortisol as we need it. Just too much of it, it creates the feeling of anxiety. Now, when we feel the feeling of anxiety and we have too much of cortisol actually being built in our body, well, it would be a good idea to really support the kidneys and adrenals. And I found that the family of vitamins B, it's phenomenal for that. Now, if you have a really huge deficiency of vitamin B and you take it at night, you will sleep like a baby. So if you have enough of it, you might not want it at night unless you need to stay up all night, right? Or part of the night. Now, a big question about vitamin D. Well, vitamin D, as David or Daniel, like my son, it's a phenomenal vitamin that comes naturally from the sun. But you know what? That means that we should be on the sun or under the sun, walk outside, without the blocks. You know, it's so fashionable almost that everybody uses the sunblocks. Well, yeah, you are blocking the sun, but you're also blocking the vitamin that comes with it. And do we need to block the sun? You know, there is like different schools when it comes to that. And my common sense says, well, if sun is so bad and it causes all kinds of skin issues, how about people in really hot climates? How about people in Africa? Shouldn't they all have issues with the skin? Do they? For the most part, I don't think so. But see, we have to actually take vitamin to feel the difference, to actually notice if you have more even energy. Perhaps you might notice that actually stress is not as bad in your life right now. You know, maybe. We all heard about drinking oils, especially the vitality oils, or maybe only vitality oils, especially the citrus oils. And we all probably know that it's wonderful because it really aids the elimination of toxins. Well, you probably don't know that it's really great for the liver because liver is very porous. So when it gets in, it aids the elimination of toxins so much easier. And of course, you can drink lemon or orange or even lime as the fruit, except it's not so good for the enamel of your teeth, where the oil does not break the enamel. And I think that's important. And when we talk about that, well, maybe we need to talk about Super C. I don't know about you, but I grew up in Poland. And if we had a cold or anything that was out of alignment, the first thing the doctor would prescribe actually was vitamin C and calcium. They were the two things that we were always getting along with the medicine. So if they were doing that, 30, 40, 50, 60 years ago, there must be something in it. I love the vitamin C from Young Living. I actually love this one better. This is not that chewable. This is this one. And I've done an experiment at one point, and I love sour things, so I chew on it. So I had another vitamin that was highly recommended, and our vitamin, and I taste everything. This is how I get to know things, by tasting it. I was surprised what the difference was between the other vitamin that I used before and our vitamin. What's the difference? I guess you have to taste it yourself to see it, because you are gonna have completely different experience than mine. Now, mineral essence. Oh my goodness, we don't have enough minerals, and I guarantee you that. And if you want to do a test, if you have enough minerals, why don't you take the dropper and just drop it in your mouth, and you will see if you have enough. Because if you have enough, you might not like it, but it's not gonna be really repulsive. If you don't have enough, it's gonna be like, oh my God. Because that's how it was for me in the beginning, okay? Now, if you or your kids have cavities, it's because you don't have enough minerals. It's always minerals, okay? So if you really hate it, you can actually put that on the back of your knees, literally. Because if you really cannot take it here, We do absorb through the skin, don't we? We absorb through the skin up to 75%. Yes, it's gonna be sticky. You're behind the knee, it's gonna be sticky, but it's well worth it, especially for kids. They might not really like it, and you want them to really take it. Colloidal silver is one of those in here, and you probably want that too. Unless they changed it because they were told to change. But we have the colloidal silver in our mouthwash, which does wonders. And if you are on thieves line and you still have cavities or something is happening, minerals are to blame, not fluoride. Fluoride, it's a toxin. There is no fluoride in nature. It's fluorine. Fluorine, it's a gas. The same gas that was used in the gas chambers. It was killing people, okay? If you are taking tyromin or any of those that support, like Femigen, oh yeah, that's an old bottle, but it's a great product. When do I know to take it? Well, I do Zydo scans. Some people do Itovi scans. When it shows up, you definitely need it. But don't forget omega J's. And omega J's, omegas are the biggest lie and biggest misconception, because most companies do not have a good quality omegas, even when they claim so. So when you do the research, you're gonna find out that, I'll tell you, if you take the master formula, it's here. And it's already here. So, ta-da. Do you need more than one? I don't know. I take sometimes more than one, but I tell you a little secret. Every bottle Young Living produces, and I'm talking about supplements, it's for 1 month supply, 1 month. Omega comes 120 capsules. You are supposed to take that in 1 month. So that means 3 capsules? Yes? No, 4. 4 capsules a day. Okay. Does this explain something in case you don't know why so many capsules? Like Femigen is 60 capsules. That's your 1 month supply. I bet you didn't know that. Cortistop is 60 caps. That's 1 month supply. Super B, 60. So if you thought it's for you and your husband, well, it's just for you. And your vitamin D, it's 120. Again, how many are you supposed to take? Sometimes I'm asked, well, how do you take them? Do you take them all at once? Because you know, I don't have all day. Oh, you don't? Do you want to live all day? I tell you, it all depends. It really all depends. But think of it as your body is like a car, and you are giving yourself a fuel. So do you think that our body can go beyond the tank that you fill up, like the car? If you have a car, can you actually go further than the fuel in your car? No. You only are gonna go as far as the tank is full. And sometimes it's better for the body to fuel again in the afternoon or sometimes in the evening. It depends. What does it depend on? Sometimes, if you remember, seriously, if you are so stressing about, oh, I didn't take this, oh, I was supposed to take it, don't even take it, because you are stressing your body so much that your body is not going to even absorb what it should. At one point, I was told that our products are 85% minimum absorption. Therefore, you might not need such high levels as some people say you do need. One of the products that I absolutely adore is sulfurzyme. Sulfurzyme and sulfurzyme. One is in capsules and one is in powder. They are different. So even if you take capsules, it does not mean you cannot take your sulfurzyme. But you know, right now, many people tell me that their hair is falling out. Well, if the hair is falling out, again, hormones, but also think about it. What procedure is being done when the hair falls out? Because people who are going through chemotherapy or radiation, they often lose their hair. So perhaps there is a lot of chemicals in the air. We are not going through chemotherapy, but the chemicals are like a factory that is affecting our hormones and our hair and our mood and everything that goes with it. So sulfurzyme powder, we love to take with Ningxia, and we call it the red drink. And I like to use the bottle for that because I am putting like 2 shots in the empty bottle of Ningxia, and I put 2 teaspoons of sulfurzyme. And you could actually use lime oil or other oils, or some people now like to use the drops. We have the vitality drops, and they use that, and they say they are delicious. You know, we have so many good things, and you need to wonder, why do we have so many things? Couldn't we just have one? Couldn't we just have master formula? Yes, we could. And you know what? It would be so much easier to sell one product or 2. But in Young Living, we have products for purpose. That's why we might have Juvatone. And you know, again, when I started Juvatone, and they're tablets, and you can take them, and how many are here? 150. So just think how many you need to use them within a month. Do you have to use it within a month? No. But if you have an issue, you are gonna, because you want to have results. If you don't want results, don't use any of that. But if you do want results, you are gonna have Juvatone in your house. And I tell you, it's really great, especially when we eat out or at a friend's house. Well, everybody has different tastes, everybody has different procedures, and everybody buys different foods. So in the evening, you actually could take, there's so many different ones you can take. You know, you can take with food essential zyme, but you can use at night Juvatone, for example. And at one time, Gary told me that you have better results if you chew on them. Oh, guys, oh. When I chewed on them, first of all, my breath stunk like heck. So good thing I did it at night. You know, and when you do it and you have a partner, spouse next to you, maybe they need to get one too, so you can't tell whose breath it is. But also, my tongue was actually hurting, like literally. It was almost like it was burned. It doesn't happen anymore, but it happens from time to time. And I am noticing that when I'm eating out, my tongue burns. What do you think burns? Normally, chemicals burn, right? So whatever that is taken out, it's burning. It's burning because there is no barrier anymore. So it burns, but then it gets so much better. And my liver is happy. Anything with Juva in Young Living is for liver support or digestive system support. Sometimes when I am doing the reading for Zydo reading, I am surprised how many people, for example, show in the reading dill. Wow, why are they showing dill? Digestive. But then I read that dill is great for cleansing the blood. Oh, and cleansing the blood also is related to spleen. Oh, and then I see that also fennel comes up, and that's great for spleen. So that detoxification in our own body is really stumbling on some chemicals, and it's a chemical reaction. Everything is chemical. You need to remember that. Everything is chemical, including water. It's H2O. It's a chemical reaction, right? So everything is chemical, and some chemicals are just poison to us. Now, if we are talking night, we need to talk about Life 9, but now we have new ICP, and I don't have it here, but the new ICP is amazing. What also that ICP contains is 18% of fiber. Now, nobody was teaching us that actually fiber is that little component that we need to eliminate what is no longer needed in your body. Guess what? Our American diet gives us 4% of fiber, but we need 30% of fiber, but we only have 4. So 18 we can get in the ICP, and it actually also contains probiotic and prebiotic. I don't know if you knew that, but I tell you, it works mighty good. It truly works wonderful, and it tastes good. Like I was, because the older version of ICP, it's like, oh, well, only when there is something to eliminate, it's gonna be, because now I can take ICP as well. Now we have both. We have the ICP daily, and we have ICP, because if you are serious about getting your body to work better, you are gonna do the 30-day cleansing trio, and ICP is there, not a new one, but that one. Now, sometimes people ask me, okay, if I am on the 5-day cleanse, which is phenomenal, and I believe we all should start with that, especially in the spring and fall. But when we are taking that, or we are doing the 30-day cleanse, should we stop taking anything else? Well, I would say no, especially not Life 9. Life 9 is your probiotic. This is what you replenish in your gut, the good bacteria. Without the good bacteria, our intestines do not work, literally. They do not work. So we need it. I also brought here multigreens. Multigreens, when you read on it, this is a staple for so many reasons, because we do not eat enough leafy vegetables. This is just a little capsule, and the capsules are just like our empty capsules. And you know what? Kids can get it. Oh, how am I gonna get this to the kid? Well, how about opening this capsule and emptying that? I actually love it on my face, in my art product, my art mask, or I just create one. I mean, literally, it doesn't have to be just that. I created with our product, but this could be a mask of its own, like literally. So much good stuff in it. When you do it and you see the before and after, take a picture before and after. You'll be surprised. I tell you, I actually, again, didn't take pictures because I didn't think it's going to work this quick, but it did. So I have nothing to show. I'm sure it happened to you many times as well. I don't know, even if you cut yourself and then you didn't take a picture, the next day there is nothing to show anymore, or you burned yourself, the next day there is nothing to show. You know, we have the Mighty Pro for kids, but I tell you, I take it too, because it has the pre and probiotic, and I love it, and it's never enough of probiotics, prebiotics especially. If we just have probiotics, it might be questionable. We also need that. And what else did I bring? I brought Alkaline. I don't know how many of you ever took Alkaline, but the name will tell you what it is. It alkalines or brings, lowers the acidity of your body. Let's put it that way. So it's a good idea to take it in the morning. But I tell you, it's quite refreshing if you take it later because it fizzles a little. We have so many different products, and I didn't bring them all here for a reason. Well, have that. Can you have all of that in a month? Oh, absolutely. Will you? Not necessarily. But when you start adding, you're going to feel the difference. I don't know about you, but in my life, I tried so many different things, so many, especially for the massage therapy that I was in for years. I tried absolutely everything on the market. And there is so much. I invite you to my house to see. You will not find another supplement if it's not from Young Living. Not because, really, not because I just want to spend money. It's because I already tried everything on the market, literally. And I'm no longer, I no longer want to be the experiment of another company. I found a company that has the integrity, the product that so far is not matched on the market. And I really do not care what people say. I do not care what they say they have the next and the best, because the only thing the best really comes from nature, and it truly comes from the above and the gift that we received. And once we start changing the integrity of the product that we are receiving, it doesn't necessarily work the best for us. Today is not the day, or tonight, should I say, it's not the night, but I will share with you this. My mom used the supplements faithfully. And because she did, she lived 15 years longer after her surgery, after her back. One of those nights, I will show you what she actually carried in her back. And it's amazing that she went on for this long with pretty healthy otherwise body. That surgery she had in her back, she had fused vertebrae, and they caused a constant inflammation, which nobody really thought of, constant inflammation and rejection in her body. Yet she used faithfully our products, faithfully. Therefore, she didn't really suffer. Dr. Winker always says, it's not about never dying, because we all will. And we really don't know when is our time. But it is about not being or spending our 30 last years in a wheelchair. And my mom actually is one of those examples. And so is my brother. He died instantly. His heart could not take what have happened here. We were all in shock. We did not expect it, but that's what happened. But there will be a night, on a different night, that I'll show you what she cared, if you are willing to see, if you are willing to listen. But I can tell you that 29 synthetic medicines that they put her on absolutely killed her. She could not bear that. But that's another story for another night. I'm inviting you to, for a month, and share that Ningxia Master Formula, okay? Don't forget about your other 5-9, because just like people ask me, do you use other products? Well, I'm saying, why not? Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you give your body a nutrition? Just because your body is eliminating now, it does not mean that it does not need support, like vitamin D or B or C or zinc or sulfur or minerals that your body really cannot function without. And I'm going to show you one more time because I had a question. What's the book called? I don't know if it's still available. This book was School of Nature's Remedies when Discover LSP used to be LSP Life Science Publishers. And we had training in Chicago, and quite few of you actually attended the training. But if you would like if you have some questions about this, we can pull it out. We just went through the first one and not even in detail, as you know. And that's actually Gary's words. It's better to know a little bit about everything than everything about little. And we are coming to that time that if you don't know stuff, even a little bit, you won't know where to go to find more. And you will have to rely on somebody who will tell you, and might not be necessarily the truth. I thank you so much for being here, spending the evening with me. It has been a pleasure. We are gonna be back next week on Monday night. You can unmute yourself, and I will see you. I will see you next week.
Thank you.